When I bought my house, I felt very lied to after seeing what all the actual prices were. So here's a realistic what my house costs every single month. So I learned that when people say that their mortgage is less than rent, they only mean the mortgage, not everything else that comes with it. And for context, my house was about $200,000 at a 6.25 interest rate. I have a 30-year loan and I put 3% down. My monthly mortgage price is $1,134. My PMI for not putting down the full 20% is $72. My property taxes are about $245. My home insurance is $27.50. HOA fees are $280. My home warranty is $30.19, and then my utilities are usually somewhere around $250. And if you weren't keeping track, that was $2,030 every single month. So while I wouldn't do anything differently, I think a lot of people would if they had all the information. So don't let anyone push you into buying a house if you don't feel like you're ready.
I love the breakdown she did for this video. It really gives some insight into what owning a home looks like, a realistic look at the costs to own a home. Thanks again for coming to another video by Lemon. I hope you do enjoy this one. And the next set of videos really delves into home ownership in the United States. So let's get to it.
Your mortgage rate is not what you're going to pay to get the house. They thought they could fool you, but they forgot that you follow me. They're telling you it's 6%, but it is wickedly more than that. Let's say you get a house for $400,000. If you put down what people normally put down, which is only 7%, right? For a $400,000 house, you actually end up spending $423,000 just in the interest, which actually ends up being 105% interest, right? Not just 6%. And I know what somebody is going to say. Oh, people don't stay in their houses the whole 30 years, so you're never going to pay that interest. Yes, that's actually a great point. Congratulations, right? You actually end up worse off. If you were to stay in that house for 30 years versus moving every 7 years, moving every 7 years would actually cost you almost $200,000 more than just staying put. Because the way that these mortgages work is that every year that passes, you pay less in interest and more in your principal. If you keep on moving, you're resetting that whole clock all over again.
Home ownership is not for the weak-hearted at all. You have to do homework. And I don't know, something about the idea that home ownership is an investment really rubs me the wrong way. Everyone needs shelter. Everyone needs a place to live and put their heads on. And I just don't like the idea of wrapping it up in an investment or something that you can use as an asset. Something about it, I might be wrong, but let me know what you think in the comments. Let's continue.
Top reasons people regret buying a new construction home. Property taxes can skyrocket the second year. You're originally only paying taxes on the land itself. This will make your mortgage jump unexpectedly. Some buyers also have had issues with registering their kids in school because the location isn't even on the map. I know a few clients who actually hate their home because there is a highway in their backyard. And the noise study said it wasn't as loud as it actually is. But also, construction sites are very messy. There's dumpsters everywhere. There's always construction sounds. If you thought about these risks or you have other reasons as to why you have buyer's remorse for new construction homes, leave it in the comments.
Buyer's remorse is a big thing. It's something that isn't spoken about as much, and it needs to be spoken about more. Uh, People seem to not understand like the magnitude of the commitment of buying a house. They just think, oh, you can just sell it later, and that's a good thing. You can do that, but when you really wrap your head around it, it's a major commitment. So let's continue.
I'm in the process of buying my very first house as a 28-year-old with no kids. I'm not married. I am in a relationship. I close in 7 days and I feel like I should be super excited right now and happy, but in reality, I am terrified and I am so nervous and I want to back out, but it is literally way too late in the process for me to back out. And I missed my last chance to do that. And so now I am just like sitting here and regretting my decision, but we're just gonna have to make it work. We're gonna have to figure it out. And yeah, I'm gonna be house poor. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna afford food. I don't know how I'm gonna afford gas. I don't know what I'm doing. Who let me do this? Who let me do this?
In situations like this, the best thing to do is to house hack. Get some friends who are renting, get them in your house, have them help you pay your mortgage, and do that for as long as you can do it. They don't have to be your friends, they can be strangers, but that is what they call a house hack. That's like, she's 28, she says she's not married, she has no kids, she's not in a relationship. Just house hack your house. That's what I can say she can do. Let's continue.
I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse with our house. We bought about a $500,000 home,
Okay.
and we make about $10,000 every month.
Okay. How much is your mortgage payment?
$4,000.
Okay. Yeah. That's why you're feeling that. You're about 40% of your income. And we would suggest that you be somewhere around 25%. Are both you and your husband working?
Yes, I'm a virtual teacher. He owns a body shop with his dad. So we're both working, and I want to sell, but I don't want to pay capital gains tax.
Yes. Well, let's look at this logically. All right. You're in at 40%. Now, the question is, can you find a way to increase your income by 15%?
I feel like we're kind of maxed out with a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old.
That's the reality of the situation. If you can't see a clear path to increasing your income 15%, so you're closing this gap, and then it's sitting at 25, 28, even 30%, right? Where it's a lot more comfortable, then you do need to consider some situations going forward. Now, let's look at this capital gains thing and with real numbers. Okay, let's say that you bought it for 500. Let's say you sold it for 540. So that's a gain of 40%. And your capital gains rate is based on your income bracket. So based on where your income is, I think in your case, you're probably going to be at the 15%. You're either going to pay 15 or 20, I believe, if I'm saying that correctly. But 15% of 40,000.
I would sell.
Because I was thinking of just staying here another year and just keeping it real tight with the budget. And then
how tight is it? You know what?
Are you able to make it work?
Yes.
Without credit cards?
Yes.
If you can make it work for a year, then stay. If you can't put food on the table, you got to get out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, we're not doing credit cards. My husband he likes his toys, so we have a third vehicle. We've got a truck, probably worth about $15,000, and I think we could.
He's not going to like me. He ain't going to like me. But if I had been one half of this bad decision, I would then be going, all right, I'm going to start selling stuff, and we're going to stack some cash.
Well, yeah, because you're going to sell that truck because the time is going to come for you guys to move, and you want to know what you're going to need? Moving truck, boxes, tape, all that stuff that costs, and that truck is going to come in real handy to pay for all that.
And he's a very talented guy doing body work. I'd like to challenge him to work a couple Saturdays. I know you need him at home. I'm going to get yelled at by Jade on Saturdays. But if I was this tight, I want to go find some margin, and I'm going to go work.
Yes, Ken.
Huh?
Men should work.
I'm not going to leave you stranded, but I got to go make some money.
This was a lengthy one, but I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I think with an income coming in of $10,000 a month, and I don't know what other expenses they have. They're saying, hey, maybe dad can work more hours. She did say she had a child that was just a few months old. And maybe sell after a year. This just sounds like a lot. Like I don't think they're telling all of the information. She's gonna have to sit down with her husband and like a third party to kind of get a sense of like what. And I feel like this should have been done before. But when you're like in the midst of negotiating or even just looking at houses, the adrenaline to just get something is just so high. So, as I said, I'm hoping that people actually do sit down and do these powwows and just figure out, what's going on with their bills. But a lot of people don't. So, so this whole video is about buyer's regret, people getting into housing and not knowing all the bills to be paid. Like the girl at the front, The front end of the video, she broke it down, how much the cost is. Thankfully, she can afford it, so it doesn't seem like a big blow to her budget. But for many, like the last people we just watched, it was a big blow. So just be cautious out there. Don't make these big decisions. Think really strongly of what you want for yourself. Is it probably better for you to build with, build by yourself from the foundation up? Take your time and build something if it's possible. Maybe that might be the route for you, so that once your house is completed, it's 100% yours. So I will see you all in the next video. Thank you for joining me on this one, and have a good one. Bye. I think you would like this one. Click it. Go ahead and click it. Thank me in the comment section. See you next time. Bye bye.